Hey everybody, welcome to my EDL 853 introduction video. My name is Rick Horton. A little bit about me. I received my bachelor's degree from Emporia State University. I am highly qualified or certified to teach K through 12 health education and physical education. While I was at Emporia State, I was on the football team there for for 4 years. Currently, I've been married for 12 years. Our anniversary will be June 11th, so we'll be 13 then. I have 2 kids. I have a 12-year-old daughter named Haley and a 6-year-old son named Cannon. I just took a slide here to shamelessly brag and plug them a little bit. You can see some of their activities, how they keep us extremely busy, but it's always fun. A little more about me. I'm starting a new job this August. I'll be a 7 through 12 special education teacher at Silver Lake Junior Senior High. I will write the IEPs for the 10, 11, 12th graders, but I will teach 7 through 12 in the pull-out or the resource room math, or the students that struggle with math. I'll be their resource. While I'm there, I'll also be team teaching in Algebra 2 class with their regular math teacher. Previously, I was a special education teacher at Mission Valley Junior Senior High. While I was there, I coached a lot of sports. I'm taking a little step back from some of the coaching this year. Just my daughter starts junior high, and I kind of want to watch her play. Critical reflection. My responsibilities at Mission Valley, I'm going to kind of talk about it since it's a job I'm familiar with. With the new job, I don't know everything yet. My responsibilities as the special education teacher for the junior high and high school, I scheduled paras. I had to be sure they were in the right class, and typically we tried to have a para in a class with all of our special needs students if it was available. Sometimes in the high school class with the elective classes, it's just not, you just can't do it. You can't have somebody everywhere, and in that case, I just have to do a good job of communicating and talking and dealing with the teacher and make sure everything's getting done. Para evaluations, I also am in charge of that. I do that. And one of the things that we do to kind of make evaluations easier is at the end of every day, we just have a quick meeting in the resource room, talk about everything, talk about things we could have done better, how the day went. And it's just also a time I give them to vent and just let them talk and tell me about anything I need to know about, because they know, they're out in the classrooms, they see everybody. It's just a chance for them to talk about everything. I do pull-out instruction. For Mission Valley, I did it all. For my grades, I did English, math, science, social studies. If someone was pulled out in a resource room class, they was with me. Student evaluations. If a student needs to be evaluated for special education, or just to meet their benchmarks and their goals, I'm in charge of doing all the evaluations for that. Home communication. This is big, especially special needs students. You just have to have an open line of communication between you and the home, you and the parents or the guardians. Have to just be sure you have that good line back and forth. So if they're a great resource and a great tool for you. If you have them on your back, it's going to be great things. Communication between the resource room and the general education classroom. A lot of general education teachers just don't understand how to do the modifications and accommodations that we ask for. So just being a good line with them, talk to them, and that way also it's just one of those things where if you have a good rapport, a good relationship with the teacher, it's just easier to go to them and ask them questions and get information from them. This is a great way where they can give you their syllabus, they can give you the notes, or it lets you, work on modifying the test ahead of time. It's just you have to have that open line of communication and a good relationship with them. And then obviously writing and, giving the IEP meeting. So it's a big part of my responsibility. Critical reflection. One thing that I think we did well is we had some web-based curriculum. What I liked about this was it was a chance to, really help with student differentiation and instruction. Student-centric learning. This is an opportunity where, for instance, in a pull-out math class, I could have one student working at a 5th grade level, one student working at a 7th grade level, one student working at a 3rd grade level, and with the online textbooks and the online lessons and everything, I could still assign how much work or whatever I wanted the students to do or what we wanted to work on that day, but they could work on their grade level and they can work on making their achievements instead of, just trying to reach an achievement they may not be able to reach, or, if you're that underachieving student, or if you're, for instance, a student that's a higher achieving student, it's not holding them back either. You're letting them work hard and try to progress and still, make, so they can still have growth. Google Apps and extensions. I use a lot of these. This has saved school districts a ton of money when they're used right. When you look at like the speech to text or the text to speech machines that used to be out there, those used to cost about $1,000, if not a little bit more. And now the fact that Google can do all of that for you and it's free for that's just good way to save money. It's awesome. It's a good resource to have. The resource room, it's a place for students to get the instruction they need. Students came to me in the resource room for pull-out classes, but not just that. If a student missed several days or something like that, needed to get caught up on work, it's a place where they can work, almost one-on-one with me or me and the paras or whoever was in there to help them out. And our paras, I'll tell you what, I had awesome paras. That's what's made my job so easy at Mission Valley. They're the most important resource I had. You can put them in the room. They can sit there and redirect students well. Typically, they sit in the back of the room. They help take notes. They help do some other things. But if a student's not paying attention or doing anything, they can go sit by that student. They can be constant redirection for that student. They can, if the student doesn't get something, they raise their hand. It's another body in there, so it's just not one teacher trying to answer 30 kids' questions. Now you got someone else walking around the room trying to help out. They did an outstanding job trying to help our students. They're people that really cared and were passionate about it. I'm telling you that don't ever make paras mad or undervalue them, because that a good para is so hard to find. Critical reflection of what I do in class. Also, I use Google a lot to share notes, study guides, graphic organizers with students. One of our teachers is kind of one of those old school teachers that wrote every note on the board. You had to take it. A lot of my students couldn't keep up with that because of their handwriting or their spelling or whatever. They just couldn't write fast enough, or were stressing out about the notes. So, one of the things, the teacher may share the notes with me, and I might create it into a graphic organizer and have the student work on that instead of taking the notes, where most of the notes are written there, but they have to write the keywords in there. Something like that, something simple like that. It's so easy to do and to share through Google now, through a Google Doc. I also, like I said, we've also used the text to speak and the speech to text apps. We had one student that really struggled with his writing and typing, so we a lot of times would use the text to speech app. Now he didn't speak real clearly, so there was stuff we'd still have to go in there and clean up, but it was a better option, the best option that we had. And then just the text to speak, where a lot of times in Google, if you highlight something and click on it, right click on it, you can go ahead and have it read it to you, which is an awesome feature. And again, I talked about a little bit, I use a lot of web-based curriculum because it's student-centric, but the other part of that too is it also becomes teacher learning centric also, where the data is just sent to me instantly, where I can see what a student is struggling on. I can see instantly how they're doing and what they're doing, and those reports don't necessarily just have to go to me. It's stuff information I could share with home also. My plan. My plan is I'd like to propose is that more schools use web-based curriculum. I love it. Online textbooks are interactive. They can be updated faster. So textbooks, it could save a district money. You don't have to buy as many textbooks because simply they get updated faster when you buy the online licensing. Students learn, student learning can be student-centric, which allows teachers to differentiate instruction and to teach students at a different level. I kind of talked about that earlier. Again, teaching math this year really helped. Just having, when I had students at different levels, it was just an easier way for them. This way they can teach at a grade level. Not just that, they're not just teaching at grade level, they're teaching to the students that are at their achievement level. And that's just so big. Is that way all students are learning, all students are achieving, all students are doing what they do. As far as funding, this is always a big concern. Here with funding, it's always an issue with school finance. Typically, the good thing is a lot of the things I talked about were Google-based programs where, those are free, and which is great. Google Classroom, Docs, Sheets, Slides, all the thing, text to speech, speech to text, that stuff's all free, so there's not really much funding to do there. the web-based curriculums and the paperless textbooks and all that, those aren't free. It's always going to have to take some type of funding. And, probably the easiest way to get stuff like that funded for schools would be to write grants. And that's just one of those things that I know I'm going to have to work on. I know it's something I want to work on and get better at. It's just one of those things that I've just always been so busy coaching 3 sports along with my teaching responsibilities. I'm excited for this to be the year where I'm not coaching 3 sports, so maybe I will have time to go ahead and look and do some of those things. Hey, thank you for watching my video. I hope everybody has a great summer and good luck in class.